Welcome back to another episode of Generic Awful High School. My name is Earl Sandwich.
I am Flangelo.
Marmalade Hooligan.
And I am Visco Grills.
Alright, Marmalade. What you got?
So, today we're going to be talking about probably my favorite teacher. His name is Mr. Brick. And Mr. Brick, he just has a way with children. Everyone loves him because he's mean to everyone.
Wait. When did you have Mr. Brick? How old were you?
Mr. Brick was my 8th grade science teacher. So I was, 14?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's context.
And so, keep in mind, this is at a military school.
Not like a military boarding school.
Not like a military boarding school.
Military school. Okay.
So you would think that
those are different.
You would think that all the teachers were really like hardcore and like drill sergeant type teachers, except none of them were, except for Mr. Brick. Mr. Brick was such a stickler for rules. You would not be able to do anything wrong in his class, except for the fact that, like, if you did something wrong, his punishment would be like a parent would punish a child. Like, he would like twist your ear and pull you out of class.
Is this what your parent did?
Well, like a parent. It was like, not my parent specifically, but you know. And so yeah, if you were bad in class, he would like twist your ear and pull you out of class and give you like a stern talking to, and really just like scold you and discipline you. But everyone somehow they loved that because no one else was doing it. Like all the other teachers let you do whatever you want in class, except for this guy who was an actual stickler for the rules. Like there'd be times when Mr. Brick, if you were listening to music on your headphones in class, he would come up to you with a pair of scissors and he'd just snip them right then and there. He'd just cut your headphones off right then and there.
That's low-key pretty awesome.
It is. It's hardcore. And you'd be mad for like a second, but you know.
I'd be mad longer than a
I
second.
Yeah, and then you get furious.
I don't know what he does nowadays because of AirPods. So yeah. What's he gonna do about that? I don't
Just
know.
throw him out the window.
Just put him on the ground.
See
Crush
the
him.
AirPods fly.
Well, okay, so I guess it was kind of like the beginning of the year. I was just getting to know. Oh God, I said his name. I said his name.
I'll bleep it out.
Bleep it out. Okay.
Mr. Brick.
Mr. Brick and oopsies. And I wasn't really like too fond of him per se. I didn't really get to know him that he actually like genuinely cared. That's why he was such a stickler. But my friend Javier was a big rule breaker, and so he'd always be doing something bad in class. Eating, especially in class, was a big no-no.
Also, is your friend's name his real name?
No.
Okay.
So,
Oh, you remember that one? Okay.
yeah. So
Brick.
Mr. Brick
Mr.
hated it.
Cinder Brick.
Mr. Cinderbrick hated it when you ate in his class, even though every day he would bring in like a gallon of soda. It was an actual massive amount of soda, and he would always finish it by 8th period.
By himself?
By himself. Every day.
Was it diet?
I don't know what it was, but it was some kind of soda, and he would have it every single day. And this is a relatively small individual. Like part of me thinks he wasn't really human. I mean, he actually had like blood red eyes. It was kind of scary.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like he might have been like a vampire or something. I don't know.
Okay,
but
so the whites of his eyes were red, or his pupils?
His irises. His irises were like blood red. It was actually kind of
Iris is the colored part of your eye.
Yeah, his iris was like blood red.
Was he albino?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Was he?
You're describing
pale?
something that's like medically not.
Well, maybe he just always had like pink eye or something. I don't know. Well, Javier pulls out a torta, and I said that perfectly. He pulled out a torta, and
Marmalade's not Hispanic, by the way. But it's
I'm about as white as it gets.
by definition, but yeah, go ahead.
So this torta is very spicy, and I love spicy foods, even in 8th grade. And I ask him to let me have some, and I want to prove how much of a man I am. Whenever someone gives me spicy food, I will always like locate the seeds with my tongue and chew them so as to get as much spice out and be like, did you know that I chewed the seeds, that I'm a man and I'm like super powerful and strong? And, yeah.
I can see you walking up to your friend and be like, I chewed the seed.
I located every single seed with my tongue and chewed them.
I'm pretty sure your friends were like, Marmalade's a psycho.
You know how hardcore I am? I injected the seeds straight into my veins.
And then I locate them with my tongue and chew them again.
Yeah, let's drink straight capsaicin. Sounds good.
Well, I
Spicy
chew on the
torta.
seeds and I start to salivate a bunch. Like, it's like a massive amount of salivation. I'm not kidding, dentists have told me they specifically do not like working with my mouth because I salivate so much and so heavy. They actually call
Pavlov, come get your dog.
So do the dentists put two of those like vacuum things in your mouth?
Feel like
We need another!
No, but they actually
All hands on deck, Marmalade's here. It's got, like, other patients holding it. Like, okay, so sorry, your mouth.
It's very much
into Niagara
salivation.
Falls.
You were
Okay.
saying.
And-
We need to bring one of your girlfriends here.
It's like it's very thick. One of mine? Wait, one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the way this is going. Keep going.
Well, it's very thick saliva for some reason. It's not like your regular saliva. It's extra.
Just keep going.
It's
Why?
extra gooey. I need to get the detail. I need to
Okay.
get the detail, the juicy, gooey details here. And I have nowhere to go. I don't want to get up in class for fear of Mr. Brick. And he will literally like come and in class, if you're doing notes, you're doing in class work. In order to get credit for it, he gives you a stamp. And if you are like bad in class or something, he will actually come to your notebook and just rip your work out of your and it's like you never did it.
Dang.
Your work just disappears. Like you can spend an hour on it, and if you're bad in class at the end, you just
Yeah, but then the student's losing the work. If you've got somebody who's misbehaving and then they get punished by not having their actual notes.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I would do it, but like I respect the
The authority.
willingness to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm weak. I would cave. Like my kid would get sad at me, and I'd be like, "Okay, here you go." Like Mr. Brick sounds like he just didn't care. So.
He just did not care. But he cared a lot about the kids.
Right, which
Just,
is good. Which is
you know,
good.
He wanted them to learn
Yeah.
the hard way. So I was salivating like the saliva bucket that I am, and not having
Why
anywhere
did
to
you pause there? Like,
not having.
saliva. Like, sorry, continue.
Thanks. So not having anywhere to spit this, I can't just like swallow it because
Yes, you can!
it's too much for one person to handle.
Oh my gosh!
So I take a piece of paper and I spit all of my saliva into this piece of paper. It's like a massive glob of saliva, like someone took like a can of saliva and poured it into a paper. And I fold it up into a cube. A cube like a square, so that like it doesn't leak out, but like and somehow the paper has not soaked through because I guess it's like so thick that it's not like viscous enough to permeate through.
The biggest spitball.
I did, except
What are you like salivating maple syrup?
it was so thick and gooey. It was weird. I should probably get that checked out.
Marmalade's just got like gummy worms pouring out of his face. Like, oh my god.
In the gummy factories, they have people like me that just like salivate over a mold.
Please stop.
Well,
Oh my God.
at that exact moment, Mr. Brick. At that exact moment, Mr. Brick comes up. He's behind me, and I guess he doesn't see me put it into the paper. And he comes up behind me and just snatches it off the desk, and he says to me, "Passing notes in class, huh?" And
So wait, he's just holding your.
He's
cube
holding
of-
my paper,
cube of-
thinking it's notes in like I'm passing notes to other people, and me and the other student are just looking at each other like, "Yep." He has it in his hand right now, and he goes up. And normally he has students read it in front of the class. Like if someone's passing notes in class, he has them go in front of the class and read the note just to like kind of embarrass them so they don't do it again. And this time felt that it was necessary for
Cinder block, cinder brick, brick.
this time Mr. Brick thought it
Marmalade.
was important for him to read it in front of the class this time.
Oh no!
And so as he's walking up, he's so proud. Like he's got like a jaunt in his step. Jaunt. He's happy. And
Gaunt is skinny. English is hard. I get it.
well, he's walking up to the front of the class all proud, and he says to the class, "Let's see what's so important that Marmalade had to interrupt other students' time to pass notes in class." And so he begins to unfold this paper. This entire time, me and the other student are just begging him, like, don't open this paper. And he's just getting more and more excited. Like what could this possibly be inside this paper that they really don't want me to read this in front of the class? And I don't want to just, like, yell in front of the class, like, Mr. Brick.
It's my spit.
That's okay.
Mr. Brick. It's really, really not something you want. It's actually not something you can read. And so he unfolds it, and the look of, like, disgust, like, simultaneous, his face started drooping, and my spit started drooping. In conjunction with each other, as he realized that this was not a note. In fact, it was rather this giant wad of, like, gooey spit. And the problem was that he did not have it held over a trash can like he should have. So you just have my glob of super, like, maple syrupy spit just spilling all over the floor, dripping off the paper, and the entire class just goes dead silent before it just, like, erupts in laughter. And seeing his face, I don't think I've ever seen a face as red as Mr. Brick's here. It was
Mr. Golly.
Mr. Gall had the tomato. I did not see his face, but Mr. Brick's face, he was as red as a brick. It was fantastic, and I don't think I've really been so proud, disgusted, horrified, and excited, like, wrapped up into one package, in one, like, one moment or instance in time. It was actually an epic moment.
Wow.
It was a victory for me.
Wow.
My head has been in my hands for the last 10 minutes. This is truly appalling.
My throat just hurts.
Yeah.
From laughing.
It's rough, you know. I have thick saliva. It's
You
a hard
always
life.
have,
I
is
have
it always that
never,
thick?
ever wanted or desired or thought about spending this much time describing somebody's saliva. And something about it really bothers me.
I guess you could almost call my saliva like a marmalade.
No.
Wow. Well, that
So,
was,
on today's episode of
something.
Ruining Breakfast Food. Oh my gosh. Wow. When Marmalade uses his bodily fluids to describe all the foods that I enjoy. This is great.
Wait,
So far,
but-
we've covered 2 bodily
Yeah,
processes.
let's cut that out right
Yeah.
there.
All the stories about things that come out of Marmalade. You need to not do that.
Yeah.
That's-
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So wait, what did he do after he opened the note?
Well, he brought over a trash can, or held it over a trash can, I guess, and just let it seep.
Did he throw it in?
He didn't just drop it. He let it. He just stared at it and let it seep. He, like, looked at me in disgust, and I told him it's not my fault. Like, I told you.
How was it not your fault?
I warned him not to open. I
It's
told
the
him.
torta's fault.
I
It's the
said
tortas.
it's the
The torta.
it's the torta.
Mr. Brick, I ate a torta and I chewed the seeds. It made me salivate. Oh god, I can see you getting, like, indignant with him, being like, "I told you."
How dare you?
I can see you doing that. Even in 8th grade, I can see 8th grade Marmalade being like, "Excuse me, sir. I believe I'm the one who was wrong here."
Yeah.
That was my saliva to hold.
Absolutely.
That was my saliva to throw away.
Wow.
Well,
Well, that was something else, Marmalade.
was-
thanks, sorry.
Well,
Thanks for ruining things.
You're welcome. Just be careful when you eat
I'm now
tortas.
hyper aware of my own spit. This is bad. It's like,
gross.
I'm salivating
Gross.
pretty thick right now. It's...
All right. And with that, stay tuned, or maybe not. You know,
now's a
for
good time to
another
cut out.
episode. Generic
Marmalade's
awful high school.
bodily fluids.
Let's ask, will Marmalade be back on this channel?
Chris. All right, bye.